8 compliments that make women fall for you. Proven attraction psychology. Psychology tricks. Love doesn't grow from noise. It grows from meaning, said at the right time with the right spirit. If you knew one sentence, just one, could flip a switch in her mind, make her pulse spike, and keep you on her thoughts long after the conversation ends, would you still rely on lazy lines like, "You're hot" or "Nice dress"? Welcome back. Most men talk like attraction is a shopping list: looks, money, status. But a woman doesn't fall for a resume. She leans in for a feeling. And the man who controls that feeling calmly, cleanly, without trying too hard, stands out immediately. Here's what most guys don't get: a compliment isn't being nice. A real compliment is direction. It points her attention to something deeper, and it makes her feel understood without you begging for approval. Because yes, her energy can shift in seconds. You've seen it. The posture changes. The eyes soften. The voice gets warmer. All because one man said the right thing the right way. That's the difference we're playing with today. Not shallow flattery. Not "you're cute" spam. Not tossing compliments like confetti and hoping something sticks. That's how you become another forgettable name in her DMs. What you want are compliments with weight, psychological ones. The kind that hit something primal. I'm safe with him. He sees me. He's not desperate. He chooses his words like a man who knows his value. And this is where the Stoic approach makes you dangerous in a good way. Stoicism teaches control. Control over impulse. Control over emotion. Control over speech. So you don't chase. You don't perform. You don't over-explain. You speak with intention. And your calm does half the persuading before the sentence even lands. So if you're ready to level up, stand apart from the crowd, and leave a lasting impression, stay with me. I'm about to break down 8 compliments that go beyond surface-level attraction and create real pull. And before we start, subscribe if you're serious about mastering relationships through Stoic wisdom. One video at a time, you build the mindset, the discipline, and the presence that women don't just notice, they remember. Compliment 1. That fragrance you're wearing is addictive. It smells incredible. Let's begin with something most men ignore, but that sits at the very core of attraction: scent. If you truly want to understand psychology tricks and female psychology, you must understand that attraction is not always visual. It is emotional, sensory, and deeply wired into memory. Don't assume she only wants to hear about how she looks. Be the man who notices what others overlook. A woman's fragrance is directly connected to the emotional center of the brain, the place where memories and feelings are stored together. That is not poetry. That is biology. Think about how a random scent can instantly pull you back to a specific night, a specific person, a specific feeling. One breath and you are there again. That is the power you are stepping into when you compliment her perfume with intention. When you say, "That fragrance you're wearing is addictive," you are not commenting on a product. You're acknowledging the emotional atmosphere she creates. You are telling her, without saying it outright, that her presence lingers even after she leaves. That is powerful. That is memorable. That is how to fall in love, by creating emotional anchors, not empty praise. Most men rush. They throw out predictable lines like, "You look great," and move on. Don't do that. Slow down. Notice details. Female psychology responds strongly to being seen in a way that feels specific and thoughtful. When you recognize her scent, you show awareness. You show presence. You show that you are not distracted or performing. Be calm. Be grounded. A Stoic man understands that words carry weight. He does not speak to impress. He speaks because he means what he says. That is one of the most effective psychology tricks in attraction: controlled delivery. Say the compliment with steady eye contact. Relax your tone. No rush. No exaggeration. Let the silence after your words do the work. That silence signals confidence. That is how to fall in love slowly, not through pressure, but through emotional imprinting. When she hears that her fragrance is addictive, her mind begins to associate you with that scent. The next time she sprays that perfume, she will remember your voice. She will remember the way you looked at her. You have now connected yourself to a sensory ritual in her daily life. That is not manipulation. That is understanding female psychology at a deeper level. Attraction grows in moments like this: small, intentional, emotionally charged moments. Don't overuse it. Be selective. If you compliment everything, nothing feels special. A stoic mindset teaches discipline. Speak less, mean more. When you compliment her fragrance, add a subtle layer of emotional impact. You might say, "It suits you. It feels warm and unforgettable." Now you are not just noticing, you are interpreting. You are showing emotional intelligence. Women pay attention to how a man makes them feel about themselves. When you describe her scent as unforgettable, she begins to see herself that way. That is how to fall in love, by reinforcing identity, not just appearance. Remember this: attraction is about the experience you create. Female psychology is highly responsive to emotional depth and attentiveness. Don't be loud. Don't try too hard. Be precise. Be intentional. That is the difference between average conversation and magnetic presence. Many men believe attraction is built through status, money, or appearance alone. That is incomplete thinking. True attraction forms in the nervous system. It forms in memory. It forms in subtle emotional shifts. Psychology tricks are not about deception. They are about awareness. When you understand how scent ties into memory and emotion, you realize that complimenting her fragrance is one of the most refined ways to enter her inner world. And here is the key: say it as if you are discovering something, not evaluating her. There is a difference. One feels judgmental, the other feels appreciative. You must aim for appreciation. When delivered correctly, you will notice her body language soften. She may tilt her head slightly. She may smile differently. That shift tells you she felt it. She felt seen. She felt understood. And that feeling is rare. In a world full of surface-level chatter, depth stands out. That is why this works. That is why psychology tricks rooted in female psychology are so effective. Because they are not tricks at all, they are alignment with how emotion truly functions. So the next time you are close enough to notice her scent, don't ignore it. Don't rush past it. Take a breath. Let it register. Then speak with quiet certainty. That fragrance you're wearing is addictive. Hold eye contact. Pause. Let the moment breathe. You are not chasing. You are choosing. You are not performing. You are expressing. And in that calm, deliberate space, attraction begins to grow in a way that feels natural, grounded, and real. That is how to fall in love, not through noise, but through presence that lingers long after you walk away. Compliment 2. Your smile could brighten up an entire room. Let's slow this down, because this one carries more weight than most men realize. On the surface, it sounds simple, almost ordinary, but it is not. A smile is never just a curve of lips or a flash of teeth. It is a signal. It is a current of energy. It is the emotional temperature she brings into a space. When you tell a woman, "Your smile could brighten up an entire room," you are not commenting on her appearance. You are acknowledging her impact. That is the difference. And that difference is everything. Most men rush. They say, "Nice smile," or "You're pretty." Don't do that. That is surface level observation. That is lazy. Be precise. Be intentional. A high value man does not throw words around carelessly. He understands that language is leverage. When you recognize her smile as something that changes the atmosphere, you are telling her she affects the world around her. You are telling her she carries light. That is powerful. Think about a moment when you walked into a room that felt heavy, tension in the air, stress on every face. Then someone entered with a genuine, relaxed smile. No performance. No forcing it. Just authentic warmth. Suddenly, shoulders drop. Conversations soften. The space shifts. That is not coincidence. That is emotional influence. When you highlight that quality in her, you separate yourself from every other man who is stuck admiring the obvious. This is where attraction psychology becomes real. People are drawn to those who make them feel elevated. If you show her that her smile elevates others, you are associating her identity with positive impact. You are framing her as someone who brings value. And when she feels valued for something deeper than looks, she leans in. That is how you attract women without chasing. That is how masculine energy operates: calm, observant, grounded. Understand this clearly. You are not flattering. You are witnessing. There is a difference. Flattery seeks approval. Recognition offers respect. When you say, you light up a room with your smile, and you mean it, your tone should be steady. No exaggeration. No theatrical delivery. A stoic man speaks as if he is stating a fact, because to him, it is a fact. That calm certainty is what makes the compliment land. Don't rush the line. Timing matters. Say it after you've actually seen her interact with people, after you've noticed the way others respond to her. That shows you are paying attention. Attention is rare, and rarity creates value. A high-value man observes before he speaks. He listens before he labels. When he compliments, it feels earned. There is another layer here. When you acknowledge her smile as something that brightens a room, you are subtly telling her that you notice emotional intelligence. You are saying, I see your presence. I see your warmth. I see how you affect people. Most men focus on physical traits because it is easy. It requires no depth. But masculine energy is about grounded awareness. It is about seeing what others overlook. Be clear, this compliment is not about putting her on a pedestal. It is about appreciating influence. You must deliver it from a place of strength, not need. If your energy says, I hope you like me, the words lose force. If your energy says, I recognize something valuable, the words gain weight. That is the internal shift you must master. A high-value man does not try to impress. He expresses. He doesn't compete for attention. He commands presence through calm confidence. When you speak this compliment with steady eye contact and a relaxed posture, you communicate emotional security. That security is attractive. It tells her you are not intimidated by her light. You appreciate it. And here is the psychological anchor. When someone feels truly seen, they remember who made them feel that way. Not for a minute, not for an hour. For a long time, you are creating an emotional imprint. You are tying your presence to a moment of affirmation. That sticks. Don't overuse it. Don't repeat it. Say it once, sincerely. Then move on. That restraint reinforces masculine energy. It shows you are not fishing for a reaction. You made your observation. You stand by it. That quiet certainty is what differentiates a high-value man from the average guy seeking validation. Also understand this. A smile reflects inner state. When you compliment her smile in this way, you are subtly complimenting her spirit. You are acknowledging positivity, warmth, resilience. Those qualities matter far more than temporary beauty. When she realizes you see that, she feels respected on a deeper level. And respect builds attraction faster than empty praise ever will. So the next time you notice her smile shift the mood of a space, don't settle for a nice smile. Be sharper. Be intentional. Say, your smile could brighten up an entire room. Deliver it calmly. Mean it fully. Then let silence do the rest. That is not just a compliment. That is recognition of influence. That is emotional intelligence in action. That is how you attract women without force, without pressure, without performance. Be the man who sees beyond the surface. Be the man whose words carry weight. That is how you stand out. That is how you create connection. That is how you operate with quiet power. If you've been throwing out lazy compliments and hoping for magic, stop. Words are power. And a man who understands that is already ahead of the crowd. Don't just notice how she looks. Notice what she brings. Be the man who sees energy, presence, influence. That is what separates you from the average guy. That is how attraction deepens. So here's your move. The next time you see a woman's smile change the mood of a room, don't hold back. Say it with calm confidence. Say it with intention. Let your words land. And if you understand this, drop this in the comments right now. I see her energy, not just her beauty. Like this video, subscribe for more timeless attraction psychology, and remember, real power isn't loud. It's observed, and then spoken with purpose. Compliment 3. I love how real you are. You don't try to fit in. You're just you. Now listen carefully, because this line carries far more power than most men realize. We live in a world obsessed with performance. Filters on social media, carefully crafted images, people measuring every word, every gesture, trying to blend into whatever trend is popular this week. Authenticity has become rare currency, scarce, valuable, magnetic. When you look at a woman and calmly say, I love how real you are not praising makeup, clothing, or surface beauty. You are recognizing character. You are recognizing courage. And courage always commands attention. Think about it. Women hear compliments about their appearance all the time. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You look amazing. These words are pleasant, yes, but they are common, predictable, disposable. But when a man says, I admire how authentic you are, something deeper happens. You are acknowledging her identity. You are seeing past the outer layer and recognizing the person underneath. That lands differently, deeply. As the writer Oscar Wilde once said, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. That idea is not just poetic, it is practical psychology. People are drawn to those who feel comfortable in their own skin. And when you recognize that quality in someone, you immediately separate yourself from the crowd of men who only notice appearances. This is where old Stoic wisdom becomes powerful. Stoic philosophy teaches that truth matters more than approval, and character matters more than performance. A man who follows old Stoic wisdom does not chase trends. He observes. He evaluates. He respects authenticity wherever he sees it. So when you deliver this compliment, you are communicating something important. You value truth. You value individuality. You value the real person standing in front of you. That instantly signals maturity, calm confidence, what many would call an iron mind. And that matters in modern life more than ever. Today, people are constantly pressured to fit in at work, online, in social circles. Many women feel that pressure intensely. The pressure to look perfect, to behave a certain way, to match expectations. When you acknowledge her authenticity, you give her something rare, recognition without conditions. You are telling her you don't need to perform. The real you is already impressive. That message carries emotional weight, a lot of it, because authenticity is not always neat or polished. Sometimes it is messy. Sometimes it is unconventional. Sometimes it even challenges the crowd. But realness has gravity. Realness attracts respect. As philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Remember that line. Repeat it if you must. Because it reveals something crucial about attraction. People feel safe around those who respect authenticity. They relax. They open up. And that connection becomes memorable. Now here is the key advice for modern men. Deliver this compliment with calm certainty. No exaggeration. No theatrics. Look her in the eye. Speak slowly. Mean it. Authentic recognition only works when it comes from genuine observation. That is where the Stoic approach becomes essential. Stoicism win is not about saying clever words. Stoicism win is about disciplined perception, seeing what others overlook and speaking truth without hesitation. You notice her honesty. You acknowledge it. Simple, direct, powerful. And understand this clearly. A man with an iron mind values substance over spectacle. He does not chase approval. He recognizes quality when he sees it. That attitude is deeply attractive because it shows stability, emotional strength, clarity. Women sense that immediately. The world is full of noise, full of imitation, but authenticity cuts through everything. It stands out. It stays memorable. So when you tell a woman, I love how real you are doing more than giving a compliment. You are rewarding courage. You are reinforcing individuality. You are communicating values rooted in old Stoic wisdom. And that kind of recognition is unforgettable. Repeat the principle in your mind until it becomes instinct. Admire authenticity. Speak truth. Value character. That is the path of the man with an iron mind. That is how Stoicism win shows up in real life, not through loud gestures, but through precise words delivered with calm confidence. In a world full of performance, be the man who recognizes the real. And when you do, people remember you. Always. Compliment 4. I love the way you see the world. It's so unique. It really makes me think. Compliment 4 may sound simple on the surface, yet it carries a level of depth that most men completely overlook. The line is this: I love the way you see the world. It's so unique. It really makes me think. Listen carefully. This is not just a compliment. This is one of those quiet psychology tricks that speaks directly to a woman's identity. In a world where most conversations stay shallow, talking about appearance, fashion, or surface level charm, this sentence cuts deeper. It shows awareness. It shows presence. And presence is rare. Many people move through life on autopilot. They repeat opinions they heard online. They echo what everyone else is saying. But every once in a while, you meet a woman who sees the world through her own lens. She questions things. She notices patterns others miss. She pauses and reflects instead of rushing to judge. When you say, I love the way you see the world, you are doing something powerful. You are acknowledging her mind. You are recognizing her perspective. And according to female psychology, recognition of her inner world creates a far stronger emotional response than compliments about appearance alone. That is one of the subtle psychology tricks many men never learn. They focus on what she looks like. But attraction deepens when you recognize how she thinks. So don't rush the moment. Slow down. Listen when she shares an idea. Pay attention when she explains her view on something meaningful. Then say it with sincerity. The way you see things is different. It actually makes me think. That sentence does two things at once. First, it tells her that her thoughts have impact. Second, it places you beside her as someone who values depth. This is important, because when a woman senses that a man respects her mind, the conversation naturally moves beyond casual attraction and into emotional curiosity. And curiosity is the beginning of how to fall in love. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, there is always some madness in love, but there is also always some reason in madness. In other words, attraction grows when emotion and intellect meet. When you admire her way of thinking, you are opening the door for both. You are showing that connection is not just about chemistry, it is about perspective. From a Stoic mindset, this matters even more. The Stoic man does not simply follow the crowd. He observes. He reflects. He searches for wisdom in unexpected places. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. So when you compliment a woman's way of seeing the world, you're essentially saying that the color of her thoughts stands out, that it brings something meaningful into the conversation. And that message carries weight, because many women feel that their ideas are often overlooked in social settings where people rush to speak but rarely pause to listen. When you step in and acknowledge her perspective, you immediately create a different dynamic. Not louder, not showy, just deeper. That is one of the quiet psychology tricks that builds emotional attraction without pressure. But remember this rule. Don't say it casually if you don't mean it. Authenticity matters. If you compliment her thinking, you must actually listen to her ideas. Ask questions. Be curious. Say things like, that's an interesting way to look at it, or I hadn't thought about it like that before. That is how the conversation evolves. And when she sees that her perspective genuinely interests you, something shifts internally. She begins to associate your presence with intellectual excitement and emotional comfort at the same time. That combination is powerful in female psychology. It signals that you are not just another voice in the noise. You are someone who notices meaning, someone who values reflection, someone who respects depth. And here is the deeper truth many men miss. Women remember how you make them feel about themselves. When your words make her feel insightful, thoughtful, and intellectually appreciated, the memory lingers. Long after the conversation ends, long after the night is over, that lingering impression is one of the hidden pathways in how to fall in love. It builds emotional gravity between two people. So use this compliment wisely. Speak it calmly. Speak it sincerely. Don't rush it. Let the moment breathe. Because when a woman realizes that you admire the way she sees the world, you are no longer just another man giving compliments. You become the man who truly noticed her mind. And that, more than anything flashy or loud, is what makes a connection unforgettable. Compliment 5. I love your energy. It's contagious. It makes me want to be the best version of myself. Understand this clearly. Energy is everything. Walk into any room and you will notice it immediately. Some people carry an energy that quietly drains the atmosphere. Conversations slow down. Motivation fades. The room feels heavier. But others do the exact opposite. Their presence lifts people. Their laughter spreads like light through a window. Their attitude wakes people up. That is the kind of energy people remember. That is the kind of energy a high value man learns to recognize and appreciate. And when you say to a woman, I love your energy, it's contagious. It makes me want to be the best version of myself. You are not simply giving a casual compliment. You are acknowledging the invisible force she brings into the world around her. That is powerful. That is meaningful. That is the kind of recognition that can truly attract women on a deeper emotional level. Think about what this sentence actually communicates. It tells her that her presence doesn't just entertain you, it elevates you. It tells her that when she walks into your life, she doesn't simply add noise or distraction. She adds inspiration. She pushes you to grow. And growth is one of the deepest values a thoughtful man holds. A high-value man does not chase empty excitement. He looks for people who sharpen his character, who lift his mindset, who strengthen his purpose. When you give this compliment, you are saying something subtle but profound. Your presence improves my life. That is admiration in its purest form. Not shallow praise. Not surface-level attraction. Real appreciation for the influence she carries. Now pay attention to something important. Many men make the mistake of focusing only on physical compliments. They say things like, you look beautiful, or you're stunning, or you're hot. There is nothing wrong with acknowledging beauty, but those words live on the surface. They fade quickly. They are easy to forget because she has likely heard them hundreds of times before. But when you talk about a woman's energy, when you recognize the way her spirit affects the people around her, you are stepping into deeper territory. You are speaking to something that is part of her identity. That is where true connection begins. That is how a man with calm confidence and grounded masculine energy communicates. Think of energy like a ripple in water. One small stone hits the surface and suddenly the entire pond moves. The right person does that to your mindset. They make you more optimistic. They make you more disciplined. They make you want to step into your better self. When you tell a woman that her energy inspires you to improve, you are describing exactly that ripple. You are showing her that her presence matters. And people remember the ones who recognize their deeper qualities. A thoughtful compliment like this can stay in someone's mind far longer than any comment about appearance ever could. But here's the key. Do not say it carelessly. Do not throw it out like a scripted line. Be sincere. Be observant. Notice the moments when her enthusiasm lifts the conversation, when her positivity changes the atmosphere, when her passion encourages people around her. Then say it. Calmly, clearly, with confidence. That is the difference between empty words and meaningful recognition. When spoken with sincerity, this compliment reflects a man who understands people, a man who values character, a man who carries quiet masculine energy that naturally draws others toward him. There is also another subtle message hidden inside this compliment. When you say her energy inspires you to be better, you're revealing that you are a man committed to growth. That is attractive. Not because you are trying to impress her, but because you demonstrate standards for your own life. A high-value man is always evolving. He reads. He reflects. He improves his habits. He builds discipline. And he respects the people who help him grow stronger. When a woman hears that she contributes to that growth, she feels appreciated in a meaningful way. She feels like she matters beyond appearance or charm. That feeling is powerful. And here is something many men overlook. Women often remember how a man made them feel about themselves. Not just in the moment, but long after the conversation ends. If your words help her feel respected, valued, and seen as someone who positively influences the people around her, she will remember that interaction. That memory builds emotional attraction. That is how thoughtful communication can quietly attract women without effort or exaggeration. So remember this principle. Do not rush to compliment what everyone else already notices. Look deeper. Notice the qualities that shape her presence. Notice the energy she brings into the room. Notice how people react when she speaks, laughs, or shares her perspective. Then acknowledge it honestly. Say it with calm conviction. That is how a grounded man communicates appreciation. That is how genuine masculine energy expresses admiration without sounding forced or rehearsed. At the end of the day, this compliment works because it touches something real. It honors influence. It celebrates growth. And it reflects the mindset of a high-value man who chooses to surround himself with people who elevate his life. When you recognize a woman's energy in this way, you are not simply praising her, you are showing that you understand the power of positive presence. And when that understanding comes from a place of authenticity, it naturally helps you attract women who value depth, respect, and meaningful connection. If this message resonates with you, don't just listen, apply it. A man who recognizes a woman's energy shows depth, awareness, and purpose. That is how real attraction is built. Like this video, subscribe for more insights on becoming a calm, confident, high-value man who knows how to connect on a deeper level. And drop this line in the comments to lock the lesson into your mind. I attract people who inspire me to become better. Speed balloon fire. Compliment 6. You're honestly one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met. You really care about others, and it shows. That sentence may sound simple, but do not underestimate its power. In today's world of endless scrolling, curated images, and constant self-promotion, genuine thoughtfulness has become rare. People advertise kindness. They display it. They perform it. But real thoughtfulness, quiet, attentive, consistent, is something entirely different. And when you recognize it in a woman, you are doing something most men never bother to do. You are acknowledging her character, not just her appearance. Understand this clearly. Complimenting a woman's beauty might catch her attention. Complimenting her character captures her respect. And respect is what creates lasting attraction. As the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. When you tell a woman she is thoughtful, you are recognizing that she already lives by that principle. You are saying you see the quiet effort behind her actions. The way she remembers small details about people. The way she checks in when someone is having a hard day. The way she notices things others overlook. These are not loud traits. They're subtle. But subtle virtues carry enormous weight. A man guided by old Stoic wisdom understands that character always outweighs surface charm. That is why this compliment works so deeply. It is not shallow. It is not predictable. It touches the core of identity. And identity is powerful. Think about modern life for a moment. Many women receive endless comments about their looks. Social media reinforces this every day. But how often does someone pause and say, I see how much you care about people. I notice your kindness. I notice your awareness. Almost never. And when you say it sincerely, it stands out immediately. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Thoughtful people live by that rule without even realizing it. They remember birthdays. They notice when someone feels uncomfortable in a room. They make space for others. When you highlight this, you are not flattering, you're observing. Observation creates authenticity. Authenticity creates trust. And trust creates attraction that lasts far longer than charm ever could. A man with an iron mind does not chase attention with empty words. He studies people. He notices patterns. He recognizes virtues that others overlook. That is the discipline taught through old Stoic wisdom. The Stoics believed that virtue, qualities like kindness, integrity, and awareness, defines the true value of a person. Physical attraction fades. Status changes. But character remains. When you compliment a woman's thoughtfulness, you align yourself with that deeper philosophy. You show that your attention is not trapped at the surface level. You demonstrate perspective. And perspective signals maturity. That maturity is magnetic. Remember this principle. Admiration should point to identity. When you say, "You're thoughtful," you are telling her that kindness is part of who she is. You are reinforcing a trait she likely values deeply. And people are naturally drawn to those who recognize their best qualities. As the Stoic teacher Epictetus reminded his students, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Thoughtful people already follow this advice. They decide to care. They choose empathy. They practice attention. When you notice that, you're acknowledging something real. That kind of recognition lands with force. It feels sincere. It feels rare. And rarity creates impact. In practical terms, this compliment works because it shows emotional intelligence. It signals that you pay attention not just to what someone looks like, but to how they move through the world. That is powerful, especially for men navigating modern dating after their 30s, 40s, or beyond. At this stage of life, attraction evolves. Depth matters more. Character matters more. Shared values matter more. A man practicing Stoicism understands that relationships built on shallow praise collapse quickly. Relationships built on genuine recognition grow stronger. So when you see a woman consistently supporting others, remembering details, showing empathy, say something. Say it calmly. Say it directly. You're one of the most thoughtful people I've met. You genuinely care about people. That sentence does not need exaggeration. It does not need decoration. Simplicity carries authority. The calm tone of a man with an iron mind gives the words weight. And remember this, the goal is not manipulation. The goal is awareness. The Stoics never taught tricks, they taught perception. When you live by old Stoic wisdom, you become someone who notices virtue naturally. And when you speak from that place, your words resonate differently. They feel grounded. They feel deliberate. They feel true. That authenticity is what defines Stoicism win in relationships. Not games, not clever lines, just clarity, discipline, and the courage to recognize what truly matters in another human being. Compliment beauty if you wish. But when you recognize character, you speak to the soul, and the soul remembers. Compliment 7. I love how driven you are. Your sense of purpose is seriously inspiring. Pay attention to the depth of the statement because it operates on a level far beyond ordinary flattery. In today's world, real drive is rare. Most people drift. Most people scroll, complain, postpone, and search for shortcuts. But a woman who wakes up with a mission, who stays focused while others lose discipline, who continues working when the room grows quiet, that woman carries a powerful energy. When you recognize that energy, you're speaking directly to her identity. That is the essence of powerful psychology tricks rooted in female psychology. You are not praising something temporary like clothing or appearance. You are recognizing the engine that moves her life forward. And that matters deeply. Women who are ambitious, purposeful, and self-driven want to be seen for more than surface beauty. They want someone who understands the weight of effort behind their progress. So when you say, I love how driven you are sending a very clear signal. You notice the late nights, the sacrifices, the discipline that most people overlook. Don't underestimate this moment. Respect is magnetic. Respect triggers attraction in a way empty praise never will. This is where psychology tricks meet real emotional intelligence. Female psychology responds strongly to recognition of purpose because purpose reflects identity. And identity is where lasting attraction grows. Be the man who sees that. Don't just notice what is easy to see. Notice what required effort. Notice the focus. Notice the determination. That is where admiration becomes meaningful. When you add the words, your sense of purpose is inspiring, you take the compliment even deeper. Now you are saying that her ambition influences you, that her direction motivates you to sharpen your own life. That is powerful. People are naturally drawn to those who recognize their deeper qualities. As philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. When you acknowledge her why, you acknowledge the foundation of her strength. That is rare, and rarity creates attraction. This is one of the most effective psychology tricks because it aligns with the natural patterns of female psychology. Women who work hard towards something meaningful are constantly surrounded by people who either compete with them, doubt them, or try to minimize their ambition. Very few people genuinely respect it. Be different. Be observant. Be intentional. Don't rush the compliment. Deliver it calmly, confidently, with clarity. That is how to fall in love with someone's character instead of just their image. And that distinction matters. Surface compliments fade quickly. Character-based compliments echo for a long time. They stay in the mind because they validate effort, discipline, and identity. In relationships, admiration for purpose is one of the strongest foundations for emotional connection. It shows maturity. It shows awareness. It shows that you value growth. This is exactly why these psychology tricks work so well when applied with sincerity. They tap into female psychology in a respectful, thoughtful way. You are not trying to impress her with clever words. You are simply reflecting something real about her life. That authenticity creates trust, and trust creates attraction. Remember this principle clearly. Attraction grows where respect lives. A person who feels seen for their dedication will naturally feel drawn to the one who recognized it. So don't overlook ambition when you see it. Don't treat drive as something ordinary. Acknowledge it. Honor it. Let her know you admire the focus, the discipline, the direction she carries. That is how to fall in love with someone's deeper nature. That is how emotional connection forms naturally. In modern life, where distractions dominate attention and commitment often fades quickly, purpose becomes incredibly attractive. A man who can recognize and respect that purpose shows emotional intelligence and stability. He is not intimidated by ambition. He appreciates it. He understands it. That attitude alone separates him from the crowd. This is why understanding female psychology and applying thoughtful psychology tricks makes such a difference in relationships. It allows you to speak to what truly matters beneath the surface. When a woman hears that her dedication inspires you, she hears something rare. Someone values her direction, not just her appearance. Someone sees her effort. Someone respects her discipline. And that kind of recognition leaves a lasting impression. So remember the lesson. Don't rush compliments. Don't make them shallow. Be intentional. Be observant. Speak to what truly defines her. When you do that, admiration becomes genuine, connection becomes deeper, and the path for how to fall in love begins to unfold naturally. If this message resonated with you, then understand this. Attraction is not built on shallow praise, it is built on respect. When you recognize a woman's drive, her discipline, and the purpose that pushes her forward, you show that you see more than appearance. You see character, and that is rare. A man who respects ambition stands apart from the crowd. So if you truly believe in honoring purpose and recognizing strength in others, prove it right now. Go to the comments and write this sentence. I respect purpose, discipline, and the fire to grow. If that's the kind of man you choose to be, type it below, like the video, and subscribe for more wisdom on becoming the man who attracts through character, not noise. Speedful in fire. Compliment 8. You have this incredible way of making people feel comfortable and truly valued. This is not a casual remark. This is emotional intelligence being recognized out loud. Some people walk into a room and command attention with noise, style, or status. Others do something far more powerful. They create connection. They make the room breathe easier. They make people feel seen. When you say this compliment, you are not talking about surface-level charm. You are honoring something deeper, her ability to make others feel safe, respected, and appreciated. That matters. In a world where most conversations are rushed and distracted, the person who truly listens stands out like a lighthouse in a foggy harbor. Notice it. Say it. Be precise. A high-value man understands that attraction does not grow only from looks or excitement. It grows from emotional depth and awareness. When you tell her, you have this incredible way of making people feel comfortable and truly valued, you are acknowledging a rare quality, her presence. Not everyone has it. Many people talk. Few people actually listen. Many people wait for their turn to speak. Very few hold space for another human being. That is why this compliment lands with such weight. Think about the atmosphere she creates. Perhaps she asks thoughtful questions. Perhaps she remembers small details others forget. Perhaps when someone speaks, she leans in instead of looking around the room. Those behaviors may seem simple, but they signal emotional awareness. They signal empathy. And empathy is powerful. The Stoics believed that understanding others is part of understanding life itself. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself this question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? That reflection requires awareness. It requires humility. When a woman naturally creates comfort for others, she is practicing that awareness every day. A high-value man recognizes that kind of character instantly. Do not ignore it. Call it out with sincerity. Be calm. Be direct. Say the compliment slowly and with conviction. Now understand why this works on a deeper psychological level. Most compliments women receive focus on appearance. You look beautiful. Nice dress. Great smile. Those are pleasant, but they are common. They fade quickly because they are expected. But when you compliment someone's emotional intelligence, you are speaking to their identity. You are telling her that you see something deeper than the surface. That creates impact. That creates memorability. When you recognize how she makes others feel, you show awareness, and awareness is a signal of masculine energy rooted in calm observation, not loud performance. A man who pays attention to emotional dynamics naturally attracts women because he communicates depth. He is not chasing approval. He is acknowledging value. Here is the key principle: don't rush compliments. Be intentional. A rushed compliment sounds like flattery. A thoughtful compliment sounds like truth. When you notice her ability to create comfort, pause and deliver the message with clarity, you have this incredible way of making people feel comfortable and truly valued. Then stop talking. Let the words breathe. Let them land. That silence after the compliment is powerful. It shows confidence. It shows presence. That is masculine energy at work, calm, grounded, aware. Modern life is noisy. Everyone is competing for attention. Phones buzz. Conversations get interrupted. People scroll while pretending to listen. In that environment, the person who creates genuine connection becomes unforgettable. When you acknowledge that trait in her, you separate yourself from the crowd instantly. You demonstrate perception. A high-value man observes before he speaks. He studies energy in a room. He notices who uplifts others and who drains them. When he recognizes emotional intelligence, he respects it openly. That respect builds attraction because it shows maturity. Women who possess strong empathy want to be seen for it. They want someone who appreciates their emotional depth rather than overlooking it. And here is another important truth: emotional intelligence also reflects strength. It requires patience. It requires self-control. It requires the ability to put ego aside for a moment and focus on another person. Those qualities align perfectly with Stoic principles: presence, awareness, purpose. A Stoic-minded man values those virtues deeply. He understands that relationships thrive when both people create psychological safety. When you compliment her ability to make others feel valued, you are acknowledging the foundation of strong relationships. You are recognizing her ability to build connection rather than simply seek attention. So remember this: don't chase attention. Recognize character. That is the difference between shallow conversation and meaningful attraction. A man who lives by this mindset naturally attracts women who value emotional depth. His compliments feel different because they come from observation, not desperation. They come from respect, not performance. That is the quiet power of a high-value man. He speaks less, but when he does speak, his words carry weight. His masculine energy is steady, thoughtful, and intentional. Be the man who notices the subtle things others overlook. Notice how she makes people laugh when tension rises. Notice how she listens carefully when someone shares a story. Notice how people relax around her without even realizing why. Then speak the truth of what you observe. That is the compliment. That is the connection. And when delivered with sincerity, This recognition becomes unforgettable because everyone wants to be valued, but very few people take the time to truly value others. Hello, my friend. Thank you for staying with me until the very end of this video. I truly appreciate your time. Today, we talked about 8 compliments that go far beyond simple flattery. These are not just words you throw around casually. They are powerful bridges that create connection, respect, and genuine attraction. A woman may forget the exact sentence you said, but she will always remember the feeling you created in that moment. That is the real power of communication. So here is my sincere advice to you. Don't use words carelessly. Use them with intention. Notice the small things about her mindset, her energy, her effort, her purpose. When you appreciate those deeper qualities, your words become meaningful. And meaningful words create lasting impressions. That's how real attraction is built. If this video helped you see things differently, there's another one waiting for you on your screen right now. No woman can ignore these 7 good morning texts. Trust me, you'll want to watch that next. And before you go, support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and leaving a comment below. Type this sentence in the comments. Words have power, and I know how to use them. Lock that mindset in, because we're not here to be average. We're here to build real connection, one intentional word at a time. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.